Hey y'all, Eric Adcock, This Awkward Life. Today is Sunday, January 25th, 2026, and this is my attempt to do a podcast every day in the year of 2026. You know, today started off like any day. We had church, it was cold, rainy, it was wet, and we did so much work to try to prepare for Sunday's service. By the time, I was just really tired during the service today. And I try not to let that affect my worship or anything like that, but it did. I was tired, and so I'm sitting there, and I just had this thought come back to my head, and I remember when I was a kid, there was this long straightaway not far from my house. It was just this long stretch of road, you know, and we had this game, and we would get the car up to a certain speed. We knew exactly what, I think it was a road sign or something. If we got up to a certain speed at that point, we could put the car in neutral and cut the motor off, and we could make it home. We knew that's how far it was. And you know, the thing about it is the windows were down, no engine, no acceleration, just rolling. Just at that first, it felt so peaceful. The road sounded loud, the steering felt lighter, and for the moment, you know, it felt like we were still in control of everything. Everything just moves so easy. But that's the thing about coasting, is that you don't feel the danger of it right away. You don't hear, there's no engine struggling because it's not running. You don't notice how much control you've lost until you suddenly need it. And then you realize how quickly momentum fades until it's gone. When you turn the engine off, you can still turn the wheel, but the power steering's over with. So you don't have power steering, so it's hard to turn. Thankfully, the road was straight, and the game could have ended badly with no power steering. The brakes were sometimes, you know, once they run out of whatever, they didn't work that great. And if something was off, say if we had to stop if a deer would run out in front of us, or whatever, wind or whatever, it miscalculated, we'd have to start all over again. We were moving, but we wasn't really driving anymore. We wasn't getting anywhere. And honestly, that's how I was living today. Sometimes I live my life. You know, I started off strong today, strong faith, had a lot of momentum, and then there was this season today where I was just tired, and I was just want to try to coast through. And this memory come to me, like, I cannot just coast through this service. You know, maybe there's a season when prayer come real easily, and maybe there was a time that I wasn't nearly as tired as I was today, and Scripture, you know, really brought me back, and God felt really close today. But suddenly, you know, it's like I slipped into neutral, and church was still going, everything was still going around me. I was still there, but really my engine was off. I was just coasting, and coasting sometimes feels safe, and until life throws us a curve or something in the road that we have to, you know, watch out for. Coasting works fine when it's on straight roads. Life doesn't always stay straight. Something's going to show up, temptation, loss. You have to hit the brakes, and suddenly momentum isn't there anymore. Here's the tricky part. Coasting doesn't look reckless. You're not crashing. You're not running away from God. You're not doing anything obviously wrong. You're just disengaged. You're in neutral. But faith is never meant to be passive. Jesus didn't say, stay pointed in my direction. He said, follow me. That requires intention. It requires engagement. It requires us to have our engine running. The Scripture plainly says that I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abideth in me, and I in him, he that bears much fruit, and apart from me, you can do nothing. John 15:5. No less, no struggle is little, nothing. Momentum can carry you for a while, but connection gives you power. And maybe today I realized that I've been coasting. Not falling, not failing, not rebelling, just drifting. Good news is that I re-engaged today. Life doesn't require perfection. It requires intention. You can't coast through life. You can't coast through church. You can't coast through anything. You have to be put in drive. Neutral is not gaining. You may be coasting, but if you're neutral, you're not gaining. Eventually that momentum is going to run out. Hey, y'all, tomorrow's Monday. Y'all have a great day. Stay encouraged. If this encouraged you, Send it to somebody. I appreciate that. Bye-bye.